Home equities versus cash out refi.
Yes.
Hey, make sure you check us out at the realestateandchillpodcast.com. Buy your real estate merch now. Real estate merch with swag, a brand for hustlers only. Let's go.
Welcome back to the newest episode of the Real Estate and Chill Podcast. I'm your host, James Shattery, here for all your residential financial needs. Financed by James on Instagram, here with
Kevin Iglesias, associate real estate broker. Any questions about the home buying process, or if you're looking to sell or have any questions in general, feel free to reach out. Our information is right here. So today's topic is a hot topic.
Yes.
Home equities versus cash out refi.
Yes. Well, not verse, but we're going to talk about how you can use both.
All right.
How you can use either one.
What's home equity? What's a Heloc? You're the finance guy, so tell me.
Let's rewind back to what home equity is, just for somebody who may not know. So your equity in your home is going to be the asset, which is your home, obviously. It's worth whatever it's worth, okay? Minus the liabilities that you have on the house, if that's HELOCs, mortgages, whatever the case may be. So you're going to take the home value minus what you owe on that house, and that gives you your home equity. So let's say your home is worth $500,000. You have about a $250,000 mortgage. That means your equity in your home is $250,000.
That's a lot of equity.
Yeah. I mean, this is a made-up scenario, but it would be a nice scenario.
Yes. So, I mean, perfect example. I purchased one property in 2019, right? I knew that area was going to go up in value, and then COVID hit, and that property I purchased it, I think around like 310, and now that property is worth close to 500,000 or 500,000. It's insane. So that's a lot of equity. That's a big jump.
Yeah, I mean, real estate, you make money over time.
Yeah.
You can't expect to make money in real estate like the first day you buy it. I mean, you could buy something with equity, but a lot of people make money with real estate over time because it's the appreciation.
So let's touch base on that, because I've seen a lot of people who bought in 2018 or 2019, but let's say 2019, right? And then 2020 hit, and then the prices skyrocketed, and they're like, we're going to sell, because they made like six figures in equity, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with that is, if you're selling and you're not waiting 2 years and a day, you're going to get hit with some hard taxes.
Yeah. The thing is, like, with the money that they've made in that house, if they bought it for what I said, 500, I mean, let's say they bought it for 300 and they had a $250,000 mortgage, right? And then let's say now it's like their mortgage is like 200 now, even though it's probably not, but the house is worth 500. They have $300,000 in wiggle room, right? With that $300,000, they could extract a percentage of that money and use that to buy more real estate, to buy stocks, invest in different things. But there's pros and cons. The pros are you get that money where you can invest in whatever you want to invest in. The cons are that your mortgage payment obviously goes up. That's a downside.
So if you have, let's say, a rental property and you're taking that money out, your cash flow is going to decrease because it's going up.
So the only way that it really wouldn't happen like that is if there's something called a rate and term refinance. Sorry, I forgot the term. So a rate and term refinance is when you're reducing the term rate. You could be reducing both, or you could just be like lowering your monthly payment and keeping the same amount of years, which is also another thing you could do. But some examples that I've seen is like over COVID, when rates were in like the twos, was clients had like 5-6% interest rates. They're refinancing in the twos. They were taking money out and they still had the same mortgage payment. But those days are kind of over right now. You can't really get that right now. It's really tough to do, you know?
Are you seeing a lot of HELOCs being done right now?
Somewhat. It depends on what you want to do with it. Like if you're looking to take money out to buy another house, a HELOC might not be the best option for you. HELOC has lower closing costs. They're like a few $100s, honestly, but the rate on it tends to be higher than for a cash out refinance.
Well, it fluctuates, no? The HELOC rates?
It could if it's an adjustable rate. But I would say that like in most cases, like if you have a HELOC, like maybe right now if the rate for a HELOC is, let's just say, a 7%, I'm just throwing a random number. Cash out refinance number is 6%. if you're not looking to use that money for a long period of time, like, listen, you want to take like a $50,000 home line of credit out and you could just use that towards paying off bills, you're going to pay it back, you're not going to be using that credit for too long, then that 7% interest rate might make sense. But if you're looking to take out like a few $100,000 or whatever the case may be, and you want to use that for something else, you're not planning to pay it back right away, then you should most likely go the cash out route.
Hey, make sure you check us out at the realestateandchillpodcast.com. Buy your real estate merch now. Real estate merch with swag. A brand for hustlers only. Let's go!
So I'm going to ask you a question like I know absolutely nothing, right? Because we're here to educate our audience, provide value. So let's just say I want to take a HELOC out, but my current rate on my house is 3.25%, right? Okay. I want to take out $150,000. I want to use that $150,000 to put down on another investment property. So that rate would be, let's just say 6.25%, right? So that's a 3% difference. Once I take that money out, does that mean that I have two mortgages? One at the 325 on the current home, and then another one for that HELOC that I took out at 625.
Yes. So they're two separate liabilities.
So they're two separate mortgages. Right. So another lien would have to be placed on the home?
Exactly. So the HELOC is a second lien on the house.
So let me ask you a question. Since that rate fluctuates, I'm assuming it's lower at one point for like the second year, then it fluctuates a little higher if you don't use it.
No, I mean, if you don't use anything with it, they don't charge you for it. So here's the part that is important. So whenever you have a HELOC, the rates are different. The 3.25 and the 6.25 that you were talking about, they're completely different loans. They don't mix together or anything like that. They're most likely going to be from two different companies. So,
but you said, all right, so let's just say that scenario, right? And I don't use it $150,000, then I don't get charged pretty much anything.
Charged for it. And
but let's make it clear too that equity is basically monopoly money, right? Because if the market crashes and the price of homes, the values drop, that equity no longer exists.
Yeah, so they would definitely like. It's kind of like a similar thing with mortgages, right? Like, let's say you take out like it's a $500,000 house, you do a 75% loan. I mean, let's just say 80% LTV. They have a $400,000 loan amount on the house. And if the house goes from $500 down to $350, it's kind of like a similar scenario. You owe more on the house than it's worth. So they would both be like similar cases. But
so the HELOC is basically like having a credit card.
It's basically like a credit card for your house.
Yeah,
with a low interest rate. I don't personally do HELOCs. I do cash out refinances, but it all depends. Like, you have to look at the numbers. You have to look at what you're looking to do with it. If you're looking to take money out for a long period of time, I would say in some cases it might make sense to do a cash out refinance over a HELOC. If you're just looking to take out like a few $1,000s, maybe you'd want to take a HELOC. And especially right now when the market's like, the rates aren't, super low. We might not be lowering anybody's monthly payment. Somebody might be at like a 5% and they're not going to be getting an interest rate in like the 4s right now. And I mean, in pretty much every scenario that I've seen. So it wouldn't really make sense for them to do cash out at all times. That's why a lot of, people are moving towards HELOCs at this moment. But I'm sure when the rates drop down again, cash outs or just rate and term refinances, whatever the case may be, will come back again.
So break down, we already spoke about the HELOC, right? You gave me the scenario on how to use it, how investors use it, how it can be beneficial to somebody even purchasing another property who's not an investor, who just wants to get into another home. Break down the refinance, like how would that benefit somebody looking to do that as well?
So when you do a cash out refinance, you're basically paying off your old loan, and just structuring it all into one new loan. So if your loan amount was $250,000 before, you wanted to take out $150,000, your new loan amount would be $400,000, right? So if you're taking $400,000, an extra $150,000 of equity out of your house, your new loan amount is $400,000. That's one loan.
And then the terms, so let's just say I had 10 years left on that loan. It goes back to 30 years?
It doesn't have to. You can make it whatever. Your loan officer, which would hopefully be me, would structure it in a way that it makes sense for you. But there are many different terms. Like, you can do 15-year, 30-year, 10-year, 21 years. Like, so you do whatever you
can
want.
Keep the same years, like the same terms. Okay, but obviously your monthly payment would definitely increase if you're borrowing $150,000.
I would say if you're looking to do a cash out refinance, 1, reach out to me. Let's look at your scenario. But then 2, also keep a realistic idea in mind. Because if you're going to take out $150,000 and you're expecting your mortgage payment to be the same thing, you're gonna be upset. It's not gonna happen.
So to break it down, the HELOC at 3.25%, and I take out 150,000 at 6.25%, my mortgage payment doesn't change, right? It's just another lien that's on top of it that I have to pay separately. Yeah. Right. But when I do the cash out refi, then my mortgage payment would definitely change.
Then it's an updated payment. It's one loan.
It's one loan.
It's all like put together, and you just have one loan. So cash out refinance is one loan, and if you have a HELOC and a mortgage, that's two loans. So you have two loans on a HELOC, one loan on cash out refinance.
Got it. All right. So the rates right now, I mean, what are the rates looking like? I know you can't say, but where are we about? I
would say like general trend right now is we saw rates. So this is being said on February 15th. So based off of today, we saw rates come to a higher level in the past 2 weeks. It's been going a little bit higher now. We'll touch base on another video on consumer price index and how that affects mortgages, because I think that would be important for everybody to know. But general trend is right now they are going up, but who knows how much. I think we're going to be around these levels for a little bit. But listen, don't let that stop you. Prices are changing a little bit too, right? What are you seeing on the prices?
I mean, I think everything is pretty much, I don't see any difference. Like, I don't see prices coming down a significantly amount. I did see a little bit of a decrease, but not what everybody was saying, like, oh, there's going to be a 40-50% market drop. I don't see that. I don't see the market crashing. You know what I mean? I'm still selling properties. I'm still getting cash offers on properties. There's still closings every single day. I'm still getting properties under contract. Like, it's still a good time to sell or buy real estate.
It's always a good time to sell or buy real estate. And if you're looking to learn more about this, reach out to both of us. Our Instagrams are up here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Tune into the next video. These are very short clips. We want to educate you as much as possible in a short period of time. And reach out to us. Let us know if you have any questions, and we will
see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate and Chill podcast with James Chaudhry and Kevin Iglesias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this with your friends, your enemies, your mother-in-law. No, seriously, this podcast is so fucking good, you might want to tell your